There's a story we don't hear often enough. Not the story of a king born into comfort, but of a king forged in fear and who refused to bow to it. Today, this is the story of the fearless king. Fear is something we all know. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of starting again, fear of not being enough. But here's the truth. Fear does not disqualify you from greatness. In fact, fear is often the place where kings are made. The fearless king was not fearless because he felt nothing. He was fearless because he acted anyway. He stood in rooms where doubt was louder than belief. He faced battles he did not feel ready for. He carried responsibility heavier than his strength. Yet he chose courage again and again and again. A king is not defined by the absence of fear, but by the mastery of it. Fear said, "Retreat." The king said, "Advance." Fear whispered, "You're alone." The king remembered that legacy is never built in comfort. Fear shouted, "You will fall." The king replied, "Then I will rise wiser," because readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. But here's what they don't tell you about being fearless. Courage has a cost. Every crown is heavy, every throne is lonely, and every step forward demands that something be left behind. The fearless king lost comfort, he lost applause. He lost people who preferred the old version of him. Because when you grow, not everyone grows with you, and that's okay. He learned this truth: approval is a poor substitute for destiny. You cannot lead the future while begging the past to understand you. There were nights he questioned himself, moments when silence was his only companion, times when quitting felt like wisdom, but he stayed. Not because it was easy, but because turning back would cost him who he was becoming. Fear evolved. It asked new questions. What if success changes you? What if leadership costs you love? What if you stand alone? And the king answered, "If I must stand alone to stand right, so be it, because responsibility is the price of influence." Power is not about control, it is about service. Every king reaches a moment when the noise fades and the question changes. Not can I survive this, but what will remain after me? The fearless king understood. A throne is temporary, but influence echoes. So he stopped asking how far he could go alone and started asking how many others he could lift. Because true kings don't create followers, they create leaders. He planted seeds he might never see grow. He built systems, not shortcuts. He chose integrity over applause. And fear returned one last time, not as panic, not as doubt, but as a quiet question: will you be remembered? The king smiled, because legacy is not built in applause. It is built in consistency, in showing up when no one is watching, in choosing courage when compromise is easier, in standing firm so others can stand tall. So now, this story turns to you.